Hey, my name is Brittany, and in the fall of 2022, I was the victim of a violent crime. If you'd like to know more about what happened to me, you can check out the first and third pinned videos on my page. With being the victim of a violent crime, I did have to apply for crime victims compensation, and I want to help other victims and their loved ones who may also be having to apply. Today, I want to talk about the state of Wisconsin and their crime victim compensation program. About victims of violent crime and family or household members of deceased victims may have significant out-of-pocket expenses through no fault of their own. CVC helps pay for unreimbursed eligible expenses that result from the crime. Eligibility. The victim's conduct must not have caused or contributed to the victim's death or injury. The victim must not have committed a crime that led to the injury or death. The crime must be reported to law enforcement within 5 days or within 5 days of when the crime could reasonably have been reported. The victim must cooperate with law enforcement officials in their investigation and prosecution of the crime. The applicant must file an application within 1 year of the date of the crime. This time limit may be waived in the interest of justice. Adults who are a victim of a crime as a child may apply. If the victim is listed on the statewide child support docket, certain requirements must be met in order to become eligible. Applicant must cooperate with the Wisconsin Department of Justice by supplying requested information in a timely manner. Compensable crimes: homicide, murder, injury by intoxicated use of a vehicle, battery, child abuse, sexual assault, mayhem, reckless injury, abuse of vulnerable adults, kidnapping, human trafficking, arson, burglary, robbery, hazing, and stalking. Who can apply? An innocent victim who suffers injury from a compensable crime as identified by law, a dependent or family member of an innocent victim who has been killed as a result of a compensable crime, a person who is injured while aiding a crime victim or helping a police officer, a person who suffers a reaction from a homicide of a family member or household member, and a person injured in a car accident caused by an intoxicated driver. This could be a pedestrian or passenger in the other car, a child passenger in the offender's car, or a person who was unaware that the driver was under the influence of alcohol or an illegal drug. The process: once your application is received, CVC will request the investigative report from the law enforcement agency. CVC will use the law enforcement report to determine if your claim is eligible. I do want to mention, as of today, March 1st, their website states that due to a high volume of applications, it may take 90 to 120 days for the intake process. Covered expenses: medical, hospital, surgical, pharmacy, and mental health counseling expenses, lost wages for medical disability, loss of support to a dependent of a crime victim who is killed, and cost of caregiver services. Award amounts: the state of Wisconsin pays up to a maximum of $40,000 for expenses and up to 4 years of out-of-pocket expenses that are not paid or payable by a private or group insurance plan, public funds, or any other source, including payment made by the offender. Reasonable replacement costs of clothing or bedding held as evidence up to $300. Reasonable replacement value of any computer or mobile telephone held as evidence up to $200. Reasonable and necessary costs for securing and cleaning a crime scene up to $1,000. Reasonable funeral expenses up to $5,000. Expenses related to mental health treatment and work loss for a parent of a minor victim up to $3,000 per parent. Reasonable and necessary housing adaptations if the victim suffered a protracted disability up to $5,000. That is it for the state of Wisconsin. Please let me know if you have any questions, and please let me know what state you want me to do next. Bye.